Ahoy, GCDs. Niba Obibia Aquaba. Latest and hot news in Kwa Eramide Bremo. And so we don't subscribe ya. Bomodia say over subscribe to the channel. Yobe answer over click a subscribe button. Now barely notification where sa new video be uploaded. When the first person I was abeka a video. I feel we are now like video give us a thumbs up. Now feel share my offer for us now. When you do here now we do someone and also a Wagana memoir. Afi Gyamfi and Sema Abeto ye so ye galamsey Nonsěnse as say baby a crew no mo e pa ya hwedia insukura ye nya bi enum chese ye galamsey asi wana say water bodies ni na ma isu ehu akwatwe pa wo miamia bebre Ghana water for the report the tuga ji bi e de da Kenya ye da danger pa e say aban etu anamo. Now, the president, and Akufo Addo was share boka say what the presidency ever to online to stop the galamsey and then Akufo Addo here adjacent. Now we no Ntow former NPP general secretary say we free a NPP man say what they no ho Akoto ma ya fafranto Alan Kojo Kyeremanteng party and what TC Akufo Addo so anyone here the pasa. Now what in some of the watch say the economy atete apansam. Galamsey so achitre ha just you who baby a day file see the job momo ye de omope ni me koso corruption ketasi shene proyemi ade na se bi mo we nachi Ghana for could something esa to abama NPP dia na say we are finished to say we are doomed forever any no him to other assembly bre edi na yes sembre right man you put you no no nsema wodi e to say ni bre NPP for na se ko be kasa ansemu ya na je so fa no asemu pa no kan pipi ho no ni dia koso no ba bonti e be to ni tu e da sanse wo ni ready to wa to say ni abri on YouTube what
if you create a free school in the Jufuprasu area and this is the water that the children in the Jufuprasu area have to drink, how long will they live to even benefit from the education that you've given them? It's absolute nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. The other time when people watched me on NAPO TV, they said it was too emotional.
Oh, you were perfect. It's not emotional.
So now I have tried, and I would deliberately.
Let me bring this. A philosopher once said that.
The thing just hit me. The thing just hit me.
You are corrupt. Please, there's nothing like emotional.
The thing hit me so hard, and now I want to go non-emotional. But let me repeat the same words. If NPP wins this upcoming election under the current circumstances of corruption, of galamsey, and of economic mismanagement and hardships, Ghanaians are finished. They will never respect Ghanaians anymore. They will become more and more impudent and brazen in whatever. The arrogance of power will be totally uncontrollable.
Flee.
And I am repeating it. I am not by this statement saying NDC clear obviously is the better choice. I believe we need an independent. But we are talking about the people who have their hands on the levers of power today. The other time I said the president is not a man of honor, and somebody said I had insulted him. I have not insulted him. I am saying it again. President Akufo Addo is not a man of his word. He's not a man of his word. This is absolute crisis, and I am actually at my wits' end in trying to understand how the people in government will not be ashamed, but feel proud and confident to campaign and to tell Ghanaians, vote for us to continue because we have served you well, because we did free SHS. And now, if you create a free school in the Jufuprasu area, and this is the water that the children in the Jufuprasu area have to drink, how long will they live to even benefit from the education that you've given them? It's absolute nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. Let's talk about our lives as a nation and talk about the responsibilities of leadership. And I'm happy Honorable Kofi Adam spoke about leadership and the failure of leadership. the evidence of failure of leadership in Ghana today is humongous. Every single aspect of our lives, you go to open to discuss. There's a crisis. And people in NPP, people in political circles, people in political parties who want to be voted, want Ghanaians to behave as if all of us are stupid. And they are the wisest people. They are the people who know everything because they have political power. I don't think so. I think it's my friend Martin who said, the fact that you become a political leader doesn't suddenly make you wise. And make you suddenly knowledgeable more than everybody else, simply because you have power today. So tomorrow, if you leave office, then you also become stupid, like all of us who are not in power. But really, that's not the point. Alfred, this matter of galamsey, I have said it, and I'll preface my submission with that statement again. The other time, when people watched me on NTV TV, they said it was too emotional. Oh, you were perfect. It's not emotional. So now I have tried, and I would deliberately. Let me bring this. A philosopher once said that. The thing just hit me. The thing just hit me. You are corrupt. Please, there's nothing like emotional. The thing hit me so hard, and now I want to go non-emotional. But let me repeat the same words. If NPP wins this upcoming election under the current circumstances of corruption, of galamsey, and of economic mismanagement and hardships, Ghanaians are finished. They will never respect Ghanaians anymore. They will become more and more impudent and brazen in whatever. The arrogance of power will be totally uncontrollable. Flee. And I am repeating it. I am not by this statement saying NDC clear obviously is the better choice. I believe we need an independent. But we are talking about the people who have their hands on the levers of power today. The other time I said the president is not a man of honor, and somebody said I had insulted him. I have not insulted him. I am saying it again. President Akufo Addo is not a man of his word. He's not a man of his word. One. He told Alan Kyeremanteng at Legon, 2007, once I become president and I'm leaving office, I will support you, I will help you. He has done the very opposite. Thank you. And done everything to undermine Alan Kyeremanteng's effort, first of all, to become candidate for NPP, secondly, to become president of Ghana. That's a conversation we can have. No, but I'm telling you what I know. Wait, let me speak. Secondly, and the biggest one is this galamsey matter. That if I am not able to fight galamsey, I will be ready to put my presidency down. The president has failed to fight galamsey. He has failed to put his presidency down. He is not a man of his word. He is not a man of honor. This is not an insult. If you consider this an insult, well, I'm sorry about that. If anybody considers this an insult, then we are not ready to live with principles in this country. We will live with sentiments and bootlicking, and it will get us deeper into the mess that we find ourselves. If a president says, this evil of galamsey is so bad, I commit my life to it, I commit my presidency to it, is it just a matter of just telling us words? I'll come to the substantive matter. Now, I heard this story about drip equipment, and there is a fight over them in one of the OT constituencies. Equipment that have been brought recently by the government to try and help improve rural roads. They call it District Road Improvement Project. They send a lot of bulldozers and excavators or whatever, road construction equipment. First of all, for me, it is one of the things that governments or political parties do just to insult the people. This government has been around for 8 years. 3 months to election. You send equipment to go and level out rough roads just to let the people feel that their roads are being done. My hometown, Manfi to Latte to Ayukuma, for the longest while it's been totally unmotorable. A few weeks ago, 2-3 days ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, they put machines there. They are trying to, because election is coming. I'm telling you people at Latte, Nana Seduoko, you are my senior brother. I should have been sitting on that stool, but we all supported you. I am telling you, and Nana Gyamfi, latte, Ekwapim Benkum stool. Ekwapim Benkum is a divisional stool.
You should have been sitting.
Personally, I could be the chief, but I opted to go into politics.
I see.
Yes.
Anyway.
So I'm speaking directly to my brother, Nana Seduoko, and Nana Gyamfi, and my compatriots in Latte and Manfi. Don't get fooled because they brought equipment to gravel, grade the road 2 months, 3 months to election. What was happening to our lives all these years? When some of our people went hard to lobby, to beg. I know how much the former GRA boss, Amishadai, tried to do. Even when he was the GRA boss and he went and lobbied, they didn't mind him. GRA boss, he goes to lobby for 5 kilometer, 7 kilometer road to his hometown to be made. Nobody minded him. Today, 2 weeks to election, 1 month to election, the latter people should vote against NPP. If you vote for NPP, it's up to you.
Okay.
Why? Why do we allow people in political power to treat us as if we are the scum of the earth when we give the power?
Excellent.
So anyway,
You are
let me
watching
come
JC
to
News on
galamsey
YouTube.
again.
Hot news all time.
I have
You
been
are watching
once to
JC
the
News
desert
on YouTube. Hot
in
news all
Mauritania
time.
and Libya. And as far as the eye can see, you don't see one green at all. You don't see any green. Apart from the oasis where Gaddafi took us and the oasis where the president of Mauritania at the time took us. Once you step out of the oasis and we drove into the desert proper. Now, after you see that, when we flew back to Ghana, and I got down and I see green on the road, even if it's just ordinary bush, it feels like money. It is a feeling that I got. I said, wow, now, God endows us with all of these resources. And today, Ghana is still considered developing, even poor, overburdened with debt. If you're overburdened with debt, you are a poor country. We are worse than HIPIC now. And we have destroyed it to the extent that a whole region, now Ghana Water has announced that as for central region, if we don't take care, there will be water crisis. If the crisis hasn't already started. And the reason, galamsey.
Well, in fact, they put out that statement, and not to interrupt you,
Yes.
respectfully.
Yes.
This is how bad the situation
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I want to ask you, the Chifo area, that water flows through to the central region.
To the beach.
This is it. This is just the summary of the Ghana Water Company statement in central region. The suitable level for the NTU, that's the nephelometric turbidity, it measures the turbidity level.
2,000 NTU.
It should have been 2,000, that's the suitable level of turbidity for them to treat the water. Now guess what? The current level there is 14,000.
And this is just turbidity.
Yes.
They are not talking about the other chemicals, mercury, and all those things that is
Another
in the
pollutant.
water.
See, if water is clean, it doesn't mean there's not
There is no polluted.
Right.
If
This is just turbidity, the level of mud.
What you-
Let's call it
what you
simply
can see.
mud. At the chest.
over 600% more than what it should be there. 14,000 nephelometric turbidity is what they're having to deal with. Nana?
So this is the scientific and technical evidence of what is happening on the ground in one region. We don't know about what is happening in Ashanti region and the other areas, eastern region, where Densu also is a source of water for treatment to be used domestically. I mean, those who live in the western part of Accra, they know that, but for a certain arrangement that was done where there is a certain kind of a loop, where Ghana Water takes some of the water from Volta, the Volta Basin. Initially, the arrangement was that, my information was that the water from the Volta area used to serve the eastern part of Accra. And then the water from Densu would be used to serve the western part of Accra. And for the whole time, even then, people used to complain about the effects of the use of chemicals in the fishing on the Dinsu River. Yeah. So sometimes when you cross over, my brother lives in the western part, Dansuma area. When you go to Dansuma area and you drink the water, it tastes differently from the water you drink in Cantonments, East Legon, and the rest of it. So there was an arrangement. I don't know whether engineering-wise I'm speaking the truth, but my information was that there was an arrangement where some of the water from the water treatment is mixed with the water from the western side so that the water will be uniformed. And then the people in the west can get better quality water. Even at that time, efforts were being made to improve the quality of the water. Mm-hmm. Today, if the scientists and the technicians are telling us that the water cannot be treated anymore because of turbidity, it means that very soon, the people in Central Region, we should make arrangements to import water either from the Volta site or from abroad. We have to find some dollars. We have to find dollars to import water. And gradually, the way the thing is going, if you don't get a government that clearly has the political will, a leader, a person, not a political party, a person, a leader who would be prepared genuinely to put his presidency on the line.
And the NPP and the NDC haven't shown that?
For me, they haven't, really. You see, because now they haven't.
It's not NPP
now,
and NDC.
It's NPP. It's NPP, NDC. Because you see, now when you take corruption, they are telling you this one is just a little more corrupt than we used to be. When you take galamsey, they pushed it beyond the limit that Kofi Addo was just saying, when we were there was galamsey, all right, there was pollution, all right, but now they've taken it to a higher level. When you take economic mismanagement...
Listen to my statement.
No, Kofi, I heard you.
Just because you quoted me.
No.
If you listen to my statement...
I wanted to interrupt you then, but I decided not to.
I said, even if I want to accept his position...
Yes.
Okay. So you are a journalist, I was only saying, even if I want to accept... I am not admitting that he was speaking the truth.
But I am saying that was the case.
So then don't use me. Don't use me to validate the point you want to make.
Well, let me even move from the environmental thing. And in any case, with the environment, Kofi Addo was talking about green. This Mahama government, Savannah region, they took 15 million Ghana cedis, or so 35 million or so, to go and plant trees. I have the statistics here. Instead of 1-point-something million trees, or 50 million trees, this SADA business, what happened? All the money was paid. It was still an environmental thing. It is all part of this issue. It was a huge scandal. Up to today, there was no tree. The money was paid. It is the environment. That is why I am telling you that we need a different kind of leader now, because when you take galamsey, we are in crisis. When you take economy, we are in crisis. When you take law, enforcement, governance, we are in crisis. Indiscipline, we are in crisis. Our own mindset as a people, we are in crisis. Now, you cannot talk about mindset change when the leader is not exemplifying a certain kind of change and mentality which is positive. Now, Ghanaians have gotten to the point where the politicians will talk. We'll look at them. If they talk and they'll go and do different things, we also do different things. When they come and arrest us, we'll fight the police. And we'll fight the military. And we'll kill some of them.
Well, but you see, Nana...
No, I'm telling you the attitude, the reaction. I'm just telling you, yes.
I just needed to be clear that it's not as though you are saying to as it were, condone or support.
No, but I'm telling you, that is what will happen. That is what is happening.
But it is good to say it is not right.
Of course, it is not right. But see, I am telling you something. Let's not shy away from these realities and pretend. You see, people talk about the public responsibility, and it is a very big one. But you see, if you check how democracy works, Democracy works by taking the power of the majority of the people and then you concentrate it in one person or a few. Once you have done that, what you have done is that you have basically surrendered the management of your life to the government, at least at the social level. Of course, psychologically, everybody is responsible for their own lives as an individual. But when consistently, just because the people have political power, which you invested in them anyways, they are showing you such impudence, such disrespect even for the law that they themselves are supposed to enforce, what are you left with? So that is the point and the perspective from which I am addressing this matter. So we have an issue where, and I don't agree with Kofi Adams that environment is not political. Environment is a political matter. In fact, the level of discussion that has made it negative is the partisan NPP NDC. But environment is a political matter. Food is a political matter. Water is a political, everything that has to do with our lives. The negativity now that we're experiencing about how to deal with these issues is the NPP NDC duopoly that has precluded all other level-headed discussions, to the extent that now we cannot even talk about food, we can't talk about health, we can't talk about road if it is not NPP NDC. That is where the danger is now. So I am sorry, but I cannot stop returning to the fact that where we are today, with galamsey, with corruption, with economic mismanagement, with the arrogance of power, Ghana needs a completely new leader. A leader people can put on the scales, dig deep into his background and check whether this leader can be trusted. Now, Alfred, quickly, on galamsey again. Look, we are failing to realize that for as long as our economy is not able to provide jobs for young people, our economy is not supporting businesses to employ more people, for as long as our exchange rate and our interest rates are destroying businesses, it's going to be very difficult to fight not just galamsey, but all the other various ills that are plaguing our society now. So therefore, if we are serious about finding a solution to galamsey, I am saying that you need a leader who has a very clear plan. How do you salvage this economy? Not by slogans. Yesterday, somebody raised an issue about 24-hour economy and said it is one of the best things for which Mahama should be voted. And I said, so where are the details? And how? He talked about, he spoken about one or two things. I said, look, if you take Alan Kyeremanteng's Great Transformational Plan and you implement the clusters that he has mentioned on economy, agriculture, tourism, you probably will have a 27-hour economy or 30-hour economy. In fact, the way the thing is, you don't need to give it a slogan. Just implement something that will turn agriculture around, something that will turn industry, manufacturing around, something that will turn exports around. Immediately you've dealt with your CD dollar matter.
Okay.
Something that you can use as a basis of saying, I will remove this tax. Because you see, when you remove a certain particular tax, you are depriving government of revenue. But you have shown that as for this tax, this avenue for raising revenue is a nuisance. Let me block it. But this is the other one I'm opening. Now, when you do these things and you go and tell the farmer that please don't cut down your cocoa trees, I am bringing you a new avenue for exporting more cocoa. I will buy your cocoa at a price that makes it sensible and profitable for you to continue to farm. And you can find alternative jobs for young people. you can now tell them, get out of galamsey. Because I saw one video where a gentleman, a young man, had taken a machete to the throat of a cocoa tree.
Yeah, and
somebody was saying, oh, please.
We'll play that in a bit. In fact, I have that video.
I sent it to you yesterday.
Yes.
I don't know whether you got it from another source.
You actually sent it to me.
Yes, I sent it to you.
From you.
Yes.
We'll play it, but just make your point.
Yeah, so I thought that after someone I heard in the background speaking to this young man had spoken so much, the young man would have considered.
Yes.
He said, but the government also, you see, Alfred, that's where I'm telling you, the people are looking at the behavior of the people in power. When you have national executives, regional executives, government officials backing galamsey activities, and the people in the community, they know who they are working for. They know the people they are working for. They know the Chinese who are being backed by people in power. They know. And then you go and tell them, you stop your own. Don't cut down your cocoa tree. Stop galamsey. What is the alternative? Well, sorry. Don't worry. Government will find a way. They won't listen. They won't listen. That's what I'm saying is the danger. Where we are actually moving towards a state of anarchy and chaos. Where the people out of desperation will not listen to people in government who have no credibility.
Okay.
People in government who cannot be trusted. The people won't listen to you. As we spoke, it sort of came back to me. There was a time, I think around, 2018, 2019, I think. 2019, thereabouts. There was a sudden influx of excavators into Ghana. And at one point, there were so many of them parked in different locations, but this one, I located it along the N1 as you approach from Tetekwashi towards Abekala Pass. And there were so many. So my first instinct was, wow, there's going to be a major breakthrough in road construction and road improvement in this country because, first of all, these are not cheap equipment. And secondly, if you can see so many of them congregated at a point, I mean, obviously, one individual contractor couldn't have brought in so many of them. I don't know whether they were just for sale, but even if they were for sale, for one end use, I thought at that point, our attention or our alert should have been raised. Are these equipment heading for road construction? Are these equipment heading for mining? What kind of, because there were so many, and I didn't take particular note in terms of the statistics. It didn't take too long before we heard of the explosion in an already bad situation of galamsey. So the thing has built up. These equipments don't just drop from the skies. They come through the ports. National security has daily reports on everything that happens at the port. And they would have known that within a certain period, a certain number of heavy earth working machines have entered this country. If I were a national security person, I would take an interest. I don't know whether that happened. But it turns out that apparently these are some of the equipment, the excavators that have been deployed across the country for this explosion in this evil of galamsey. Now, you're talking about the arrest and the punishment of the small fries. Alfred, that's what I think I alluded to at the beginning. That when the small fries who have been sent or employed or deployed by the people who have political power and influence, and they know who their masters are, and their masters are not being touched, when you sack them from here, they will go to the other end. because the core of that evil enterprise hasn't been broken. The people who are benefiting from this very wicked, ungodly enterprise have decided not to let go. And yet they will mount the political platform and tell Ghanaians different words. These are all men and women without honor.
Okay. Well,
so please, Alfred, for as long as this enterprise is being funded and encouraged and protected by people in authority, people with political influence, people with financial influence, people who would even protect foreigners,
right,
and aid foreigners to help destroy our environment, when in their own country they dare not
do so,
touch the environment, you can't blame the small fries.
Well,
you can arrest them, it won't solve the problem.
You're waiting for winning and somewhere and now Ohene former NPP General Secretary name someone they are to be money a year among we are what I said. You had to be a woman CC na you got to up my NPP I know they want to be your prayer. Now I don't send the brave the Afriyie galamsey and send you about today. Because GC so and our Ohene so we now subscribe ya. Bawumia say over subscribe to the channel and say how dear later and hot news in Kwabena Agyapong Bremo. After we are not like the video, nothing. Share my offer so now when you be here. Now we'll end somewhere Akoto Wagara Bemuhano. Also get me at share what you have somewhere around and will comment boxing. In my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.